Hey, what's up, YouTube? Onyx again. Got a couple things on my mind. Do you actually find yourself thinking about who and what you were a year ago, 2 years ago, or maybe even hell a year ago? I was this self-admitted stuck-up snob. Grew up in a better neighborhood than most people in this community. And a year later, and over the course of 3 years, you find yourself slowly chipping away, slowly building yourself into a different person. We all do that. The only difference is how many people actually document it on video and post it for the world to see. That's even less. We all look at ourselves. We all examine, hold on to new ways, new philosophies, learn new things, let go of stubborn habits that we may have had, and try to learn. Maybe you've burned a bridge or two, or maybe you've let certain people go. People who you thought was your friend, or were your buddy, whether they be in person or, I guess, online sometimes. However you want to call it. Some people are here to stay. They change you. They make you look at yourself. They can really teach you things. People who you thought you never connect with. And they really make you look at who you are. Even though you haven't seen them in a while. It makes you appreciate them. I guess I'm saying because I'm not that same person I was a year ago. Because the funny part is, I thought some habits, some mentalities were permanent, you know? You admitted your flaws. You thought they were ingrained a part of you. And sometimes you don't realize that some of your flaws or your traits you got, they're not those that you think are permanent, like maybe you're naturally greedy, or maybe you're naturally defensive, or snob, or in my case, or stuck up, or humble. I mean, some things, whether they're positive or negative, some character traits that you think are permanently a part of your character because you think it's in your DNA. Sometimes you can prove yourself wrong. It's not a part of you. It was learned. And if it's learned, it can be unlearned. With myself, I finally found myself slowly chipping away. It's still there, but slowly chipping away at certain, I guess you could say, philosophies and habits. And yeah, I plan on making, and I said this before, I have not made Fly on the Wall. I've been so not making that thing. I haven't decided what kind of projects I want to do as far as, and I still want to do my radio show, Purge City. Oh, yeah, after I come back from my trip, because Blog Talk Radio consumes a lot of time. Hell, I'm on it enough. I'm a freaking show hopper, right? Oh yeah, I love Crank House. Crank House is cool. And I guess now that I guess learned some things about myself, I guess I can put on there, but maybe not be so personal, I guess. And Purge City, I think about how I'm going to do the radio show, why I want to do it, what's the premise. I'm so fed up with the main perspectives, the pro radical, went to jail. I'm Tyrone Jackson, and then I went to jail, and now I'm Leo Shabazz Muhammad Bey. Like, I'm so tired of that perspective. Like, we need a different perspective, a new, fresh ideas. It's all the same thing on Black YouTube. I just can't stand it. And that's not the only perspective that is out there. And they don't have all the answers. But the funny part is, when I look at a super, and I don't care I'm saying this, and I super pro radical, and I'm talking like Taj Tariq Bey. I ain't talking about like Malcolm X. I'm talking hardcore, like straight up out of the Moorish Science Temple, like that super, black man is God and the white man is the devil type of mentality. Like, it's almost as if they were to come to power in a nation, I feel like they would replace the very people that they call white supremacists out there. We've been so damaged by slavery over 150 years. It bothers me. Like, I don't think that we as black people would want them to power. Sure, the radicalness is there, and it's very much a militant that's needed in opposition of someone who, of the opposite race, is extremely racist towards us. And you have to have some type of mental, emotional, psychological disdain towards those individuals who seek to do harm over something that we cannot change. But after it's all said and done, let's say tomorrow's a new day and we become liberated tomorrow, okay? No more racism, no more colorism, no more all forms of systematic discrimination, institutionalized social engineering that does damage to the people of color and all people really is done. What are these brothers and sisters going to do? They won't be needed anymore. But if they take that mentality and hurt damage based on a reaction that is long since justifiably to have a problem with, I don't think I'd want them there, because it's like difference between two people. One kills because he has to survive, and then he's done. The other person kills and then relishes in the blood, the glory, wears the fur, wears the person's skin, grinds their teeth, uses it as hot sauce, and bathes in the blood of his victims. I don't think we need to let that. I think we need to let some stuff go after we let the main goal. We don't want to become what we hate, but of course we need to hate and have disdain what we don't like. We don't like it. It bothers us. We want change. And the funny part is, and I realize this, we're all fucked up in the head, whether we like to admit it or not. We just have different symptoms. You can't be black in America and not be affected by racism. It's impossible. The only way is to become a fish and live in water, especially live in America, or any country that has a history of European imperialism, really, for that matter. And what I have to say is, even though a lot of our brothers and sisters in the ghetto have a bad rap. Black folks in the suburbs are just as fucked up. That's what I think. They're fucked up in the head, not because they're not ghetto. What I see that we have suffered from, that's just my opinion, is the blindness to the ugliness of race and color. Like, we're so removed from discrimination. We can go on Facebook or see an article or see a Flipboard notification on our Samsung phone. I get on mine every day. And we see that remnant traces of racism still exist. But this is just silent racism, which is the worst. It's the worst because it's like finding dead bodies everywhere and you're not able to explain how or why people come up missing. It's like finding people who come up missing, you don't know why they're leaving, and you could be next. It's the worst. It's like an enemy that you can't see, feel, taste, or touch, but you know they're there because they could be watching you, they could be smelling you, could be sitting right in your bed and you don't know it, and there's nothing you do to protect yourself. We're blind. And the funny part is, like myself, I find myself kind of having this all-seeing third eye. You see the silent killer of racism in the West Coast. I see it. It's subtle. It's dangerous. It's here, and you see it. It's like the Illuminati. It's there, but it's not there. And if you do it, you can't do nothing about it because it's so powerful. It's far away. It's like a stench. You see the tail, the shadow. You hear the cackle. You see the eyes. You see the Cheshire Cat smile, but when you turn again, it's gone. But people end up missing, and people are dead. People are locked up. And the people you care about end up damaged in the process. I say that because we people who stay in better neighborhoods, some of them, too many of them, from my observation, are blissfully ignorant. They don't have to worry, but it's here. It's like being in a den full of vampires and werewolves, and you're a human. You're the only one not powerful enough to defend yourself, but everyone else is strong and violent and seek to harm you. I'm just making, metaphors, but the thing is, I'm no better than the people that reside in the downtown area. I stay in the better part of the city, but downtown, it's one of the worst crime areas in the state, let alone the country. I'm no better than them. I just realize that now. I may think I'm smarter, I can talk better, I can use the lingo, and I can be the black man who, who's more comfortable, but I think that people, like folks in the suburbs, were just as equally fucked up for thinking that, I know yes, we got better opportunities, but hear me out. I feel like, and people may disagree, but I feel like we have different symptoms because we're blind to the truth of we're so past 158 years of generational, institutionalized social engineering that cause damage. Because if it's in our brothers and sisters who are in the projects, and they're consciously knowing that they see the horrible atrocities of their own families, generational racial damage by their own grandparents passed down to them. What type of damage do we have it's just my observation, and people may think I'm wrong, but what I see are people who are blissfully ignorant, just like the dominant society. And the funny part is, if you point it out to us, the same defensiveness happens. But then we're silent. We know. But we don't like to look at it. The grass is greener on my side of the fence. But I guess I realize that I'm the only person on my side of the fence who knows that the grass is not greener in the next man's yard, and the soil is not good in the next woman's garden. I guess I've always known that, but I didn't want to look. When I look hard at it, me and that next brother or that sister, we give each other this look like, I know. And it's kind of a, sorry for ignoring you. I won't turn my eye away when I see you walk. I'll show a little bit more care and concern. It's a slow one. I didn't think you understood me. Sometimes you make me angry. I didn't think you cared. You never understood me. I was never invited at your table to eat. I didn't think you even wanted me there. What did you want from me? I wanted to eat at your table. But at the same time, I didn't think I was welcome. And but who knows? Once we set aside our own petty differences, can we be friends and not enemies? If I set aside mine, can you set aside yours? It's all a learning process, and you find yourself slowly chipping away, little by little. It's very little. It's like removing one grain, and if you keep on picking at it, eventually you start to peel back layers of time. You learn something new about yourself, and that's why I guess I speak from conviction. And those hard questions about race, culture, ethnicity. It even becomes to the point where even when I talk to, it's usually in Blog Talk Radio, but even to a white person, it's funny. It's like I'm revealing things that they already know, that they can't deny, that they see when they're walking about. They remain blissfully ignorant as well. But it's like, hey, don't play me. I was ignorant like you. I learned that blissful ignorance from you. You can't lie to another liar who was lying to himself. I guess I put it that way. And I guess I'll leave it with this. People want to paint you one way, the old you. But as you change and grow, you change and grow. But if they still want to paint you as the old you, and they're not able to see that you have changed, then that means they ain't growed either. That's my 2 cents. All right, Onyx out. Later.